Hi folks, and welcome to another episode of the KnightTrek Productions vlog. So, what are we going to cover today? Well, we're going to look at two pieces of application software. We're going to look at two games from one gaming franchise. And we're going to look at a CGI movie which has never been released. It's not even on the KnightTrek Productions website for you to look at. It's getting its official release today, even though it's quite old. The first piece I want to show you or talk about is Imagizer 3. So what exactly was Imagizer 3? And obviously there was a 2 and there was a 1. So what was Imagizer? Well, Imagizer was made a long time ago, back when I think it was Windows XP, might have been Windows ME, I'm not sure when exactly I started this franchise off, but it was at a time where when you had a photo to look at, be it an image, a photograph you've taken with your digital camera, a piece of artwork you've created or whatever, you double clicked on that file and it came up full screen. Basically, it was full screen with an on-screen interface. And I mean, okay, we still got that today, but it's not as bad as it was back in those days. And I was never a fan of it. You know, I wanted to see my photos full screen. I didn't want to see, like, right, there's the image, and there's all these image controls, zoom, pan, rotate, etc, etc. I just didn't like it back then. I wanted a piece of software that would allow me to open up a folder containing photos, images, etc, and to just go through those images one after another, seeing them full screen with no more on-screen clutter. Hence, Imagizer was born. Today, I think this software is more a piece of nostalgic software than anything else. I don't think it's got much use. With Windows 10 and previous versions, I'll go 7, 8, 10, but Windows 10, as it's the main operating system, is the one I use, it gives you photo view full screen. And you know, without the controls there, like, you can get a full screen view of your image. So there's no real need for Imagizer anymore. Probably that explains why there's no Imagizer 4 or 5, 6, 7. It stopped at 3 because there was just no need to make any more of it. But still, it was a nifty piece of software in its day. I got a lot of use out of it. I'm not sure if anybody else did, but it's available again. KnightTrek Productions website, freeware page, Imagizer 3. If you want to go take a look at it, download it, see what you think. Now, the next piece of software is also an old piece of software. It's the second application piece of software I want to talk about, but this one still has a use today. It's called Disk Mapper. Basically, what this does is, think of a disk, be it your hard disk, a USB key. Perhaps not a USB key because you wouldn't permanently store files on a USB key. You might, but think like a hard disk, think a CD. That's really why I made this software. I made this software back in the days when computer magazines came with cover discs. I wonder how many of my viewers don't have a clue what a cover disc is. It's been a long time since magazines had that, but there was a time where every computer magazine would have a cover disc, be it a disc full of game demos, or a disc full of application software, or a disc full of this, that, the other. It was a thing. And, well, some of these discs will come with libraries on them, so royalty-free music, artwork, or just movies and stuff. And I would keep these discs, but sometimes the directory structure, like where exactly, what is the path to these files, they would be buried very deep in the disk, and you could spend a good few minutes trying to find them, and then like you'd look at them, you put the disc away, you come back to them at a future date, and you're like, where was those files again? And you go looking again. So I create a piece of software that would map a disk, and I would be able to save that data or even print it out. And Disk Mapper was born. So that's basically what it does. Basically, you select a disk, a folder, etc. that you want to search, map as such. You tell it the type of file you're looking for. So if you were looking for, say, wave sound files, it would be star.wav. The old MIDI sound files would be star.mid, or it could be a star.avi file for a movie, or it could be anything. And then you just let this mapper do its thing. And what it does is it scans every directory and subdirectory, and every time it finds a match to your search criteria, it puts it into a text document area, and then you can save that text document or you can print it out. Does it have use today? Well, now, not many computer magazines have covered discs anymore, so I'm not sure it would have a use in that regard. But that doesn't mean it doesn't have use. Okay, how often have I used Disk Mapper? I would say very rarely now. It had its day for sure. Don't use it too much now, but that's not to say I don't ever use it. It does sometimes come in handy if I'm looking to map paths to a specific batch of files, and that's where it is. It's old. It could definitely do an update, but I have no real intentions of updating this software unless it took off and everybody loved it and said, oh, bring it up to date, give it a more user-friendly interface and stuff like that, which I'm not expecting to happen, folks. But it does work, it does what it's supposed to do, and if you want something that will map a folder directory, a drive directory for you, Disk Mapper will do it for you. Again, freeware page, KnightTrek Productions website. So this then takes us on to games. And I'm going to cover two games here, but they're from the same franchise. If you go to, again, KnightTrek Productions freeware page, and you scroll down to S, where it's always in that page is in alphabetical order. You scroll all the way down to where S is. You will come across two games there, Spies 1 and Spies 2. So what exactly are these games? Well, these are based on the Spies franchise. So what is the Spies franchise? Well, back in my teens, a long time ago, over 20 years ago, I actually ran a live action RPG called Spies. Now, I could do a whole batch of videos on the Spies franchise in itself. It was the most detailed, most engaging real-life RPG game you could ever play. I'm still very fond of it today. I've written and documented a number of stories that happened about when we were playing it. I've never made those public. I don't think I ever will. I don't know. But suffice to say, Spies was unique. Spies was great. So to give you the basic premise of what Spies was, the players, my friends, they would play humans who would be teleported to a planet unknown, which is located at the center of the whole universe. And this planet was a key planet in how the universe functioned. As I said, folks, I could do videos and videos on this, but basically the reason it was called Spies was because that's what they wore. They got spy magic. That was the magic they had, and they would use that power to travel to other worlds, to engage with other cultures, and of course to defend Planet Unknown and other cultures and stuff from enemies who wanted control of the universe by seizing control of Planet Unknown. It was a truly amazing franchise. I could tell you stories and stories and stories of the adventures we had playing that, and it ran for years. I don't know, folks, I've often been tempted to make a game on it, but how do you make a game that gives you the freedom of total freedom, which is what Spies gave the players? How would you put that into a game? And I don't think it's possible. That's not to say I might not try it someday. I've also thought about writing books and stuff, but leave it with me. For now, just know that Spies was an amazing game of futuristic races, magical races, medieval races, all travelling the known universe and beyond, battling evil forces that were out to destroy them. So this takes us to the games, Spies 1 and Spies 2. What exactly are these games? Well, in these games, you take on the role of captain of a tech marine starship. And in both games, you're going to have to deal with events that played out in Spies. Even though the games are based on the tech marines, the only reason I chose them was because, well, they got starships and stuff like this. It kind of had Star Trek to it, and I'm a big Star Trek fan. It was the easiest thing to make a game on at the time. These are interactive movies. Basically, you're going to watch a segment of action, and then you're going to be presented with options, and you're going to have to respond to those options. Spies 1 is relatively short. The tech marines are out looking for one of their ships which has gone missing, and well, it's your job to find it or find out what happened to it. Spies 2 is a much more longer involved game. It's got more action elements to it. It's not just solely based on an interactive story environment. I can't remember what the core story for that was. I do remember who the enemy was, but I don't want to say in this video. If you want to know, you're going to have to go play the games, folks. Dated, yes. Fun to play. Well, I'm the developer. What am I going to say? No? What I will say to you is, people have downloaded these games over the years and they think they're great. They think they're very unique. They're good interactive adventures. So, again, KnightTrek Productions, freeware page, scroll all the way down to S, Spies 1, Spies 2. If you're looking for something to play, give it a shot, see what you think. So that takes us to the end of this video. We're going to end on a movie. Now, there's lots and lots of stuff on the KnightTrek Productions website for you to interact with. Be it a piece of software, a book, or movies. I've got plenty of movies there for you to watch. But not every movie I've ever made is on the website. If you actually go to the KnightTrek Productions PC software page and you take a look at the KnightTrek Productions treasure chest, which you can order, which contains every piece of software, every movie, everything on it, bar commercial software. You get the demo versions. But if you look at that page to see what's on that disc, you will see a list of movies. And these movies are nowhere to be seen on the KnightTrek Productions website. They are not even on my YouTube channel. So, why not? Well, I don't know what to tell you the truth. I just never released them. They weren't, while I did make them, they weren't specifically CGI based. Like, some of the movies were made in other ways, and I will address those as I cover them. As I said in the previous video, stay tuned, because there's going to be stuff in these KnightTrek Production vlog videos where I will talk about stuff that has never been released, and this is your first outing, this movie. So what movie am I covering? Well, it's going to be the earliest movie as such, and believe it or not, it's not one that I made, it's one my sister made. It's called A Burst for Freedom. My sister made this using Calligraphy True Space, and it was her first and only outing in the world of CGI. I've got to give her great credit. She did a great job at telling this little story, created all the set pieces, she did all the animations, she rendered the whole thing out, and it was all compiled into a single movie, and it's pretty good. I think the story's very good. It's a bit choppy. I mean, it was her first outing. It's a bit choppy in places, but you know, it's for her first outing, it's great. I only watched this last night in preparation for making this video, and it still stands as a great story today. I'd actually be tempted to do her a bit of justice and remake the whole thing for her in high res. That's one thing. This was made years ago, folks, and that was a time when high definition monitors and stuff, they weren't the thing at all. So when she rendered it, folks, it was rendered at a low resolution, 320 pixels by 240. It means when you watch it, I'm going to put it now at the end of this video, when you watch this video, this little movie that my sister made, it's going to be blurry, blocky. I mean, I could put it in at the resolution it was made at, but then it would be tiny. So it's best to just go full screen. You will still be able to see all the action and see what goes on, but this is a little gem. I'm going to say that. It's a little gem. It tells a good story. Basically, without ruining it, the premise is an orange, a little orange piece of fruit is taken to an orange juice factory to be ground up and juiced and packaged and shipped out for people to drink, and this little orange doesn't want that, and he tries to escape. The question is, can he? So folks, I'm going to sign off here. I'm going to let you watch the video, and if you want to leave a comment about the video, you want to leave a comment about my stuff or whatever, do so. Just stay tuned. We're working our way through everything on the KnightTrek Productions website. There's lots more to come, and lots more stuff that's not even on the website to come. So stay tuned, and I'll talk to you again next week. In the meantime, here comes a burst for freedom. Bye folks.